Its Conservatives complained today about having election candidates forced on them by the party leadership. Tories in central Suffolk are looking for a successor to Michael Lord, but there are no local candidates on the shortlist. It has echoes of the row in southwest Norfolk, where the candidate there is facing a deselection battle with the local association.
Headmaster, lovely to see you.
Mr McGregor, it's good to see you as well. Thank you very much for coming today.
Knowing the local schools and communities, that's all part of being a good local MP, according to one man who didn't make the shortlist for central Suffolk and North Ipswich.
I think what someone locally could bring to it is a deep knowledge, understanding what the needs of this area actually are, whether it be the North Ipswich, the problems we've got there, improving school education, whether it be rural deprivation, whether it be the problems of transport and all the rest of it. I think only someone who has really worked at it and lived in the area can really understand it.
The vacancy arose as Sir Michael Lord standing down. 170 people applied, but of the 6 that were accepted, none are from Suffolk. So are they the best people for the job?
Our object was to find candidates that could represent the whole constituency, not just a little bit of Ipswich, not just the rural area in our constituency or the east in Kesgrave, but to represent the whole constituency.
Does it matter to you whether your local MP is from the local area?
Yes, it does. I want a local MP.
He should know the area that he's representing and the type of people that he's representing.
If they think they're qualified enough and they know enough, then I don't see what the problem is with them being an MP.
The Conservatives have a majority here of nearly 8,000, and some of the rejected candidates say that the select 6 are on David Cameron's gold list. They're seen as stars in the making, and they're being given a very safe seat. In southwest Norfolk, the party votes next week on deselecting Elizabeth Truss. They didn't know she'd had an affair. And Jana Gadgill, BBC Look East.
And don't forget, there's more on the region's political scene on this weekend's edition of The Politics Show. It's at 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Later, Peterborough. Tributes have been pouring in today for James Hare, the council boss from Ipswich, who collapsed and died yesterday. He'd served the borough council for more than 20 years, and to many, he was Mr Ipswich. He was 61.
The flags were at half-mast in Ipswich today as the town mourned the death of one of its best-known civic leaders. James Hare and his wife had just returned from their son's wedding in Australia when he died suddenly yesterday. He'd been chief executive of Ipswich Borough Council since 1989 and received an OBE for services to local government in 2005.
He had Ipswich at his heart all the time, and I think whatever he could do to promote this town, he did it, not just within these borders and the borders of Suffolk, but right round the United Kingdom.
One of the many projects James Hare championed over the last few years was Dance East and the new waterfront building he helped secure for them.
He was always a man about town, always had time for everyone, and everyone knew him. And I don't think his shoes are very replaceable right now because he was a personality. He was passionate. He was here for 20 years. He knew the ins and outs of Ipswich. He knew how to get things done. So that's quite a gift for all of us.
One of his greatest achievements was overseeing the regeneration of Ipswich's waterfront. He was also instrumental in setting up the new university there.
It just leaves a huge hole in the heart of Ipswich. All of these projects around us, they were all his, and there's loads more to do, and I think the sense of shock across the whole community is really, really deep.
James Hare has today been hailed a champion, friend, mentor, someone who got things done, and someone who will be sadly missed. Carol Bundock, BBC Look East, Ipswich.
Official figures out today show no change in the number of people out of work in the eastern region. 194,000 people were unemployed between July and September. That's an increase of 50,000 on the same period last year. The figure is now 6.5% of the workforce, compared with the national average of 7.8%. A body pulled from the sea several miles off Harwich has been identified as being a woman from Ipswich in her 50s. She was brought ashore by the Harwich lifeboat yesterday morning. Essex police say her death is being treated as unexplained.
Now, the chances of winning the lottery are 14 million to 1. But there are big winners right across the region. The Heritage Lottery Fund was set up 15 years ago, since when it's given hundreds of millions of pounds to nearly 3,000 different projects.
Back in August 2007, the Great Fen project made history. It clinched the biggest ever Heritage Lottery grant, almost £9 million to return the Fenland in Huntingdon to its former glory. In the 15 years since it was launched, the Heritage Lottery Fund has dug deep, awarding almost £300 million to projects in the East. Another mega one was airspace at the Imperial War Museum in Duxford. A third of its £25 million cost was Heritage Lottery money. And a £3 million grant to overhaul the Stockwood Discovery Centre in Luton has helped it pull in 200,000 visitors in its first year.
Small museums need the HLF and organisations such as that, because without it there just wouldn't be the opportunity to take something that was a sort of 20-year-old, outdated, lacking in interactivity sort of museum and make it such a fantastic facility that we have here at Stockwood.
But over the next 12 years, over £150 million of funding will be lost to the Olympics.
Part of the heritage of the Olympics is what we're paying for. But we've spread our Olympic contribution over 12 years to lessen the impact on ourselves and to the projects.
New applicants are still encouraged to come forward. With a 15-year track record, it's a lottery worth playing. Anna Todd, BBC Look East.
Norwich City are through to the next round of the Johnston's Paint Trophy after beating Swindon on penalties. It was a young Norwich team who were held 0-0 over 90 minutes. They go through after winning the penalty shootout 5-3. Owen Tudor-Jones, Stephen Hughes, Michael Nelson, Jens Bertel Askew and Jamie Curtin scored from the spot.
The former glamour model Abby Titmuss has taken on her biggest challenge yet, playing Lady Macbeth in a new stage production in Suffolk. She's hoping her first experience of Shakespeare will cement her budding reputation as an actress.
For 400 years, Lady Macbeth has been a vixen, a plotter, a murderer. And now, in Lowestoft, she's a sex symbol. At the Seagull, former glamour model Abby Titmuss is gearing up for one of theatre's most challenging parts.
The role is intimidating. I am nervous about it, but more than that, I'm extremely excited and just overjoyed that I'm getting the chance to play such a fantastic role.
Abby Titmuss first hit the headlines as the supportive girlfriend of TV presenter John Leslie. Then she became the lads' mag's favourite glamour girl. But for 4 years she's been treading the boards in rep, now joining the Seagull Theatre's modern dress version of the Scottish play.
I'm trying very hard to change my life and get back to what I actually always wanted to do and what I trained for before I came into the public eye. I trained as an actress. So it's not really a reinvention for me, it's who I actually am.
And don't be him the first Christ hold enough.
Was your casting of her just a publicity stunt?
No, of course not. Because the thing is, golden rule number one is it would do us no favours at all to have a rubbish show. The one thing that I'm 100% confident of is that people are going to be wowed by her. She's going to be fantastic.
Are your modelling days over, or can Lady Macbeth still be a pin-up?
I think the two worlds of Abby Titmuss, the actress, and Abby Titmuss, the brand and the model, are gradually merging into one. But yes, I do have a calendar out for next year, because at the end of the day, I'm doing rep theatre and I still got to pay the mortgage.
But for the next few weeks at least, it's this that's the pin-up. Joel Mapp, BBC Look East, Lowestoft.